What is going on, fellas? And welcome back to Hungary for Success with me, FoggyPlays, on FM21. Today, we're doing both legs against Sarajevo and any transfers that may or may not happen in between the two legs. Should be an interesting game. It is the second qualifying round. We have progressed far enough in world football to get into the second qualifying round soon. In the not too distant future, hopefully. Group stage will be where we start. If you do want to enjoy this episode, do make sure to leave a like and subscribe. It makes a massive, massive difference to the channel. Now let's get into the video. Right, fellas, so as I said, the Sarajevo games are today. Both legs against them. We're starting the season against Fervar, and our second game is against Debrecen. Should be an interesting one. The Hungarian Cup mightn't be hopefully we can score some insane amount of goals in the Hungarian Cup this year, because we deserve it, we deserve it. So for the first game against Sarajevo, we are lining up with Werner and goal, Vlek and Maputa as our wingbacks. In case you haven't actually seen the last episode, I did a roundup of the transfers up to this point. So if you want to go back and give that a quick gander, so you'll know what's going on in the world, in our team at least, you'll be able to see who came in and who has left. So, like I said, Werner, Vlek, Maputa, Hidalgo, and Barreto as our centre backs. Barreto making his debut for us today. Kosteric and Zamorano in central midfield. Versace and Carlsberg as a wide man. Grodem and Oriola starting up front. A couple of people on the bench that you wouldn't have seen before. Ariua is our Argentinian central midfielder. Malinovic is our new left winger. And Pushkash is our Czech striker who went out on loan last season. Doesn't look the worst player in the world. A couple of players do miss out. Jan Mora is still injured with his cruciate ligament. Is it a cruciate ligament? Yeah, damaged cruciate ligament. Still out for 4 more months. And Mandira is recovering from a twisted ankle to pick up in a friendly. So not ideal. Carlsberg can only go 45 minutes. So Marianchik is going to get his debut at some point in this game. And we've obviously made massive sweeping changes from the last game, because the last game was a friendly. So we're going into this and we're just going to see how we get on. Any players in the Sarajevo side I've heard of? No, none that I can see straight off the top. I had Hidalgo starts and I'm happy. Would have loved to play this one myself. Hardly ideal conditions for the supporters here, let alone the players. It must be raining. Go and give the fans. Yeah, fans expect, but you don't care. One thing, if you're watching this and you don't play Football Manager, don't bother talking about the fans, because players do not care unless it's a rivalry game. Unless you're playing against a club that is considered a massive rival of yours, the players do not care, and they never do. They never will. So we've had a free kick. Carlsberg's free kick was not fantastic. Versace is put in his first goal of the season. Grodem gets his first assist, and our advanced forward sends the ball to our inside forward on the right, and we are 1-up against Sarajevo. Let's hope this isn't an absolute drubbing, because I considered not bringing you back for this, and then I looked at it and they were like, you're two fairly similar teams. It shouldn't be easy for either team to win this game. So I'm kind of hoping that that's actually the case, and it's not like, we don't just absolutely shit stomp Sarajevo. Grodem is true, but their keeper managed to get a hold of it. In the last time I managed Dorogi, I actually had a bunch of players from Sarajevo on loan at the club, because I had a Bosnian director of football, and he kept going to Sarajevo with the same players. So my goalkeeper, I think at the time, don't remember his name, but he was an absolute beast. He was on loan from Sarajevo for I think 2 or 3 seasons. Because I do director of football saves to start the year, and then I do other things. Grodem makes it 2-0, 25th minute. Oriola with the assist. Grodem slots it in the back of the net, and we are 2-up, 25 minutes in. Beautiful, beautiful, B-A-A, beautiful. Oh, Hidalgo drops, or can't get it past the keeper. Keeper did drop it though. We do seem to be taking full advantage of the corners, and Hidalgo puts the ball in the back of the net, his first of the season. It's 3-0, 2 quick-fire goals. So we scored on the 25th, or 26th, and the 29th was going to say 25th to 28th, but that's not how they consider it. Oriola wins the ball back. Grodum, all by himself, gets his shot blocked, looking for a penalty by the looks of it. How did Oriola put that in the back of the net? How did Oriola? I want to. I'm actually going to watch this highlight because I don't know how Oriola managed this. This is some crazy. Yeah, he like swung his leg through the defender, put it in the back of the net, and Sarajevo with their one shot, probably regretting even coming to the game. Maputa, one of our shortest players on the pitch, heads the ball away. He is our N'Golo Kante for heading anyway, not so much his work rate, but still heads the ball when he really shouldn't be because he is. I think Maputa is quite short, if I remember correctly. He's like 5'9". Oriola is true. He's slots past the keeper, and we have our new top goal scorer, which was held by Versace for a couple of minutes. Yeah, Versace was the top goal scorer in the league in at the club for 12 minutes, and now Oriola has just decided he's going to take that instead. Their left back is having an absolute mare of a game, so I'm just going to say, keep doing what you're doing, lads. Maputa, 5'9". I was right. Yeah, he's quite short. Also, Milan Werner, 5'10". I know anybody watching this who likes having their goalkeepers be quite tall, probably going to be freaking out because, you know, my goalkeeper is short. I have no problem with short players. As long as you have one tall player you can throw a corner at, it's no big deal. Grodum gets Oriola through. Oriola can't find the finish. Looking for his hat trick 5 minutes into the second half. Carlsberg with the corner whips it in. A little bit overhit. Zamorano gets there to win the ball back. What's he going to do with it? Can he whip it in? He does. Carlsberg's won the ball. Oriola gets dispossessed, but Grodum was offside. He wasn't involved in the play though. So okay, that's fine. I'm considering what we have on the bench now because might as well. Carlsberg finds Oriola. I was supposed to take Carlsberg off at halftime. Whoops. Okay, so Carlsberg, you can come off for Malenchik. I'm gonna have to change his name because I'm gonna stumble over myself every time I look at that name. We're gonna bring Arawa on for Kosric to make his debut. So we have two debutants going on just before the hour. Hidalgo comfortably picks up the ball, finds Maputa, finds Carlsberg with potentially his final touch of the game. Barreto gets it on. Grodum, oh, it's hit the post. And how does Oriola miss from that close? He's like 3 yards out and he puts it over. Yikes. Maputa finds Mary. Zamorano. Maputa. Mary. Vlek. Oh, what a goal by Vlek. Was that just outside the area or did he stumble into the box before taking that shot on? I feel like this was outside the area, but I might be mistaken. He took a touch, brought it into the box, and it smashed it through. Their left back is having an absolute horror show today, which is quite unfortunate. I don't like seeing players getting absolutely shit on. Salkin to Jukic. Easy for Werner. Werner's safe hands. He's only playing at 6.9. They have only had 3 shots. So they're playing with more caution. Of course they are, because why wouldn't they? So we're going to make our final substitution now. Is there anyone on the bench who I want to bring on? I'm going to bring Versace off. Give Versace just a little bit of a rest. Although, is there anyone? No, give Versace a break. We'll let Pushkash come on. Even though he hasn't, I think he's played a couple of games for us last season before he went out on loan. So it's not his debut. We don't have anyone else on the pitch or on the bench looking to make their debut. And Mary almost puts it in the back of the net in his debut. Let's serve a bit of praise. So Maputa, Oriola gets back to Maputa. Grodum hits the post. Oh, what do we have to do to score another goal? Thankfully, we are 6-0 up. So it's not like we're chasing the game. Hidalgo at the near post, puts it in the back of the net. Get in. This is Beautiful. Normally what happened... Oh, that's just... How did he even get his head on that? He was facing the wrong direction. That's like a Chicharito goal. But yeah, normally what happens with the way I've set up corners now is Grodem is the one getting on the end, or whoever's playing on the right side of our strikers is normally the one that gets onto the end of the corners. But Hidalgo's decided that he wants in on it today. Maranchik. Mananaushitz. Wits the goal. Wits the goal? With the goal. 8-0. Is there any point in bringing you back for the second leg? Is there any point? 8-0. We're not going to lose. We're not going to lose. I believe in us. Well done, lads. Good win. Good win indeed. Can't really complain about that. 8-0 in the first leg. We're not going to come back for the second leg. We'll have a look and see who we get in the next round. And we'll just do the second leg of that. Because what's the point in playing Sarajevo again? We're going to be playing away from home. Probably score another like 6 or 7 goals. Be interesting for me to watch, but not for you. Because I like winning games. But like, that's just dirty. We did actually get the draw for the next round. Would you believe I don't remember who we drew? I'll have to check that. Because we did get the draw. I just didn't bother to check properly. Who did we draw? We are going to be playing AIK or Zelina, which ended 2-1 to AIK. So we could be playing against Sweden. Maranchik scores on his debut. He's probably going to get a new name before you come back for the next game. Grodem. It's valued at 2.4 million now, and he got a new contract. So probably why he played well. So we're going to be back in just a second for the game, for whichever game I bring back next for, either AIK or Zilna, second leg, hopefully. We don't bottle it against Sarajevo. That would be terrible. Imagine if we lose to Sarajevo now. Oh. Right, fellas, so after the last part of the episode that you saw, when we beat Sarajevo 8-0, I decided not to come back for the second leg, because what was the point? Instead, we're coming back to play AIK in the second leg, and as you can see, we won 4-2 last time, or in the first leg. If we qualify from this in the playoff, we'll play either Astana or Ludogorets, who, as you can see, drew 0-0 in their first leg. So, rather importantly, we went to Bosnia and just got the one goal. Just one. We did play a rotated side. Gave a lot of players just a chance to stretch their legs. Oriola had to come off injured, which was quite frustrating because he's been pretty decent. Also, our Polish winger is now called Mary. Speaking of Mary got picked up an injury in the Fervar game. As you can see, Hidalgo scored a 54th minute own goal to equalise the game, and we scored with what was essentially the last kick of the game. But Zamorano picked up a knock in that game. I took off Carlsberg, and then 3 minutes later, Mary picked up an absolute catastrophic injury. So he's been out since the first leg against AIK. We did win 4-2. As I said, Mandira made his first appearance of the season, scored a brace, and didn't really want to take him off. So he did need a rest. As you can see, Pushkash also came off, Pushkash came off the bench and picked up a little bit of a knock as well. So our players are getting injured quite a lot. And then against Debrecen, quite a comfortable 3-1 victory. Carlsberg with a brace, did miss a penalty in... It was quite early on. I think it was like the 12th minute or something before Debrecen took the lead. And then we just won the game. As you can see, Kosteric has been scoring quite a few goals. It's been delightful. So we have Usikov potentially on his way to Pushkash Academia, which would be quite nice. And Kakarish could be going on loan to Hanvid. Hanvid taking all the players away on loan, as they normally do. We did sign Awad. I don't know if I mentioned that in the last part of this episode. He is available for loan. And of course, Hanvid wanted to loan him. What is it about Hanvid trying to take every player in the world to play for them? I don't get it. We did sign Kjell Arne Jonsson, who is a central midfielder. Well, he's a defense midfielder, but he's going to be a central midfielder for us. He looks pretty good. Quite like him. He has 5-star potential. According to my scouts, I think he had 4.5 star. like 4.5 star, like with one silver, like one half silver star. I think he's going to be quite a good player. He's quite brave, quite good decisions for such as pretty good as his balance. Technique is not terrible, and we're training him to be a box to box midfielder so he can get involved. He's not registered to play in today's game, fairly obviously. But since you were here last, we've had a couple of players leave. Jonathan Richard has gone to Porto, where he seems to be quite happy. Janjic went on loan to Partizan. Tap has gone on loan to Brescia. Morton picked Preston. Scott Kerr has gone to Brentford. Bassett has gone to Banik Ostrova on loan. John Divic did eventually seal his move to Odd. And Felucci has gone on loan to Hanvid, where he is meant to be a key player. So we'll have to see how he gets on with that. We have nothing to... nothing about AIK. We do have some quite tired players and some injuries. So obviously Mora continues to be injured. Pushkak is still injured from that game against AIK in the first leg, so he's not going to be in for today's game. And Mary is going to be out for another 4 weeks after picking up a fractured lower arm, which is just delightful. Vlek is too tired to start this game. Oriola hasn't fully recovered from his injury, even though I think he can play. Yeah, he can play. I'm not going to risk him. Zamorano, a little bit tired after the last couple of games. He's played a lot of football recently, so he's going to get to sit this one out as well. But we're starting with Werner on goal, Bartek and Maputa as our wingbacks, Hidalgo and Barreto as our central defence, with Kosric and Arua as our central midfield. Versace and Carlsberg as our wide men. Mandira and Grodem lead the line. Carlsberg has been in good form, but if he had taken all his opportunities, we would have won many more games quite comfortably, because he did hit the post quite a lot, and that's been a little bit worrying, shall we say. I think in the game against AIK, he hit the post twice, if I'm not mistaken, which has it's just been a theme so far. We've kind of hit the post a lot. Versace's hit the post quite a bit. Grodem's hit the post a bit. Kosric takes an absolute whirly of a shot in the first 20 seconds. It's just like, he's only been scoring screamers. So he's like the Ruben Neves of the Hungarian division, just smashing it. Like, as you can see, we've already hit the woodwork once. Believe me, it will increase. I think we've been averaging 3 or 4 per game, which, it's just a little bit annoying. One thing I'm worried about as well is Barreto. He's not been amazing. I know he's still learning. We're very unlucky not to get the ball into the back of net there, but yeah, Barreto has. I'm not going to say he's struggled. He's just bedding in slowly, much slower than I would have hoped. His average rating does look like he's been playing quite well, but he does like 1 or 2 things in the game, and like during the match, that makes it look like he's playing really well, but he's just been kind of like acceptable, I guess is the best way of describing it. He's not really making huge mistakes, but he's not doing anything that would be kind of seen as like fantastic. And Maputa, don't know if anyone watching noticed that, came from behind, tackled the AIK attacker from behind in the box. Luckily, got away with it. I'm going to put my hands on my hips and say I'm not happy with your performance out there. Bartek is having less than ideal game. You can still improve, lads. I think you can still improve. And I'm not happy with your finishing. So Bartek is leading the potential substitution line, as is Carlsberg and Mandira. Mandira is just, they're always banging on about how consistent Mandira is. He's relatively consistent, but sometimes he just doesn't show up, and it's really annoying. I kind of wanted to encourage them, but I know it'll piss them off, so I'm not going to. Bartek with the throw finds Mandira, can't find Versace, but Barreto gets it forward to Maputa, finds Arua, or he gets it out to Maputa, who's acres of space, whips the cross in. It gets cleared, but Arua has it again. Finds Bartek. Absolutely smashes it. Our right backs score absolute screamers. Get in. Who doesn't love to see a right back score an absolute worldie of a goal? That makes it now that AIK have to score 4. They still have to score 4 because we scored 4 away from home in our game. We're going to make some changes just because our players are getting a little bit tired, and we are going to bring on Savic to play up front. Actually, we're going to do complete forward here. Savic can go on this side and be an advanced forward. Versace can slot in here. And we don't really have anyone we can bring on to play in his position. Maputa's having a poor game, so I'm going to take him off for Bordet. And is there anyone I want to put in? Do I have anyone that can play? I don't have anyone else that can play centre midfield. Nice. Do we take Hidalgo off just because he's a little tired? Yeah. I bring on Stepanenko, but put Stepanenko on the left. Leave Barreto be the right centre back because we aim our corners at the right centre back, and he has 16 heading. Hidalgo, big ball across to Bartek, whips it across, kind of hopeful more than anything. And Hussein is getting quite the run. Oh, Werner, that is so unlucky. That was a less than ideal way of attempting to catch the ball. Yeah, we're still going to make those changes. But that was quite the fantastic run by Hussein. But their shot, quite lucky that Werner had butterfingers. Not really made too many mistakes. Bordet, Alain Bordet smashes it into the back of the net. Our fullbacks have both scored today. Bordet literally off the bench like 7 minutes, slaps it in the back of the net, and we are going to the next round of the Champions League, into the playoffs. And hopefully this could be our first year in the Champions League group stage, which would be so pretty. We'd have so much money. I think we've got nearly 28, maybe 29 million in the bank now. Imagine making it to the Champions League group stage. Ooh, that would be fantastic. Barreto does clear the ball. Might as well blow the whistle there now, ref, because even if they score here, they need to score many more goals. What a block by Bordet. He does it all. Scores worldies at one end of the pitch. Stops the opposition from scoring on the other end. We're just doing bits. Sterner offside, and that'll be the end of it. We have successfully gotten through what had the ability to be a difficult game. Congratulations, lads. We will be taking on either Ludogorets or Astana in the next round, and it is going to be Ludogorets. We know what we can do against Astana, so Ludogorets is an interesting one. Have we ever played them? I don't think we have. Nope. Fantastic. Ooh. Take one game at a time. I'm not going to say we're going to win the thing because that would piss the entire world off. We do have 28-ish million, 21.3 million left to spend. Ooh. I think next episode we'll come back. We have to play Hanvid. So Ludogorets and Hanvid in the next episode. Could we make it to the Champions League groups? Ludogorets do have a better reputation than us, but we've beaten Astana previously, and our club is worth more money. They have a higher reputation, but we're valued 7 times more. Also, club legend, obviously. Mandira and Versace were both mentioned in legend status, but they're still just favourite personnel. So we have to wait and see what happens with them. But if you did enjoy this episode, do make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, share with all of your friends, and do please come back for the next episode, which will be tomorrow. Thank you very much for watching, fellas, and I will see you in the next one.